So I'm working on this air vac, central vacuum system. The bearings were going out, they were getting pretty loud. So I took the top cover off. This is the top cover here. It's just 3 bolts up here, 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 and here. And then I had to cut the pipe here. There's the outlet pipe, here's the inlet pipe. And then it was just three bolts on these, or 3 nuts on these studs. Here, there's one here. Pulled that all out. Took the top off the motor. And this is it all apart. So this was here. We got the windings and all that. This housing. And then this was all just pressed on. You can see here. There were kind of these little indents that held it in this groove. So I ended up just holding it upside down, putting a screwdriver on these and pounding them apart. There's 3 sections. Obviously there was a nut on the end of this shaft. But that's the best way I found to get it apart. On these rings I kind of messed it up a little bit, but I tried to straighten it out. Kind of dented it. So to come apart, you have this lower housing, and this sits. This is down right here. This sits next, lying down. And there's this housing here. This second portion of it, face down, and then I believe this spacer spool piece was. So if you're looking at it up, that's the way it was, I believe. And then there was a washer on here. I went down. Pretty sure this was down as well. And then there was a washer here. And then this, I used a pair of pliers, some Nip-X pliers, and was able to pry this up. It's just friction fit on there. There's a little impeller wheel and then a spacer. And then I got the new bearings on here. So I got a new bearing in here and a new bearing here. The originals were, it's a 608Z, I believe, because there was the spacer on both sides, or the shield. I did a 608 RS2, so the rubber seals on both sides. Figured with this fine dust and some of the particles from these carbon wheel or brushes, then the rubber seal was a better fit. I don't know. We'll see. There's a little bit more friction apparently on them, but it should be very minimal. But that's what I've got here. I'll get it back together and show you. Okay, so I just tapped those retainer sleeves back together. I didn't make the indentation on that groove, but they were friction fit pretty well. And then once you put those 3 bolts back on the studs, it should hold it together there. So I'm gonna just kick it on here a minute. It's really loud, but I gotta plug it in real quick. Here. So that sounds a lot better than it did. I didn't get a before sound, but anyway, that's how you can fix these old units. There probably aren't very many out there anymore, but I ended up paying like $20 a bearing, so it was like $44 after tax or something like that. I just got SKFs from the local SKF dealer. And like I said, I put the rubber seal ones instead of the shielded, the ZZs. I put the RS2s in. 608 was the top and bottom bearing, at least on this model. It's the model 110.